for
Yes,
another week of eclectic reviews.
indeed. Yes, but of course, before we get into all of the reviews that we do, we'd like to talk box office.
Yes,
Uh,
which is one of those Monday morning quarterback things that we just enjoy talking about.
Indeed, yeah, and oh boy, this has not been a good holiday season for the box office.
No, I think they kind of needed that Dune 2 shot in the arm.
Yeah, yeah, or maybe talk James Cameron into releasing Avatar 3 a little early.
Yeah, hey Ninja,
Hey, Ninja.
good to have you back. Hope
Yes,
everything has been going well for you.
yes, indeed. But yeah, I mean, of course, not surprising this week. The Willy Wonka prequel was in the top spot. Did better than I thought it would, but still didn't do very well.
Yeah, 39 million for the opening weekend on a budget of 125 million.
Yeah,
Uh, Although it's doing pretty well internationally, though, the international box office is inflated by the fact that it released in a lot of territories early.
right. Yeah,
Now, it's made 12 million in the first 3 weekdays. Actually, no, more like 14 million. So that's decent weekday legs.
yeah, yeah.
I think this is going to be the one that ends up owning the December box office just because what else is there you can take a kid to?
Yeah, maybe Aquaman.
Yeah, so apparently a lot of those rumors that were going on about Aquaman either weren't true or turned out not to be true due to reshoots.
Yes.
Eh, Ninja speculates that Wonka will be a second market success. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could also leg out. It's kind of like what Puss in Boots did last year.
Yes.
Uh, Puss in Boots, for those who might not remember, actually had a completely abysmal opening weekend in the
Hmm.
U.S. because it launched in the middle of a literal polar vortex
Yeah.
that depressed the box office quite a bit, and then it bounced back a bit.
Yes. Yeah.
So it had like an insane, like on a percentage basis of its opening weekend, it had like a mathematically insane legs.
Yeah. Yeah. And couple that with opening up at the same time as Avatar 2. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Although I noticed that a year later, I still hear people talk about Puss in Boots 2, say, "Oh yeah, that's a great movie." Yeah, I don't know how is that such a great movie. I never hear anybody talk about Avatar 2.
Yeah.
We used a whole Avatar video game.
Yeah. 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 Indeed. Yeah.
It just says family film success I noticed are more for the second market with few exceptions. It definitely helps make up for it.
Indeed. Yeah. Especially the lesser known ones that aren't like they aren't part of a franchise
Mhm.
or aren't released by the mouse.
Yeah,
Although ones being released by the mouse haven't been doing very well either. So yeah,
no, no, they have not been.
yeah.
Um, so continuing down to our top 10 here, once again, two of the top five are Japanese films, specifically The Boy and the Heron and Godzilla minus one.
Yeah. Hey, D Rhino, good to see you.
Oh, hey guys, did you know that Critique Corner is playing?
Oh yeah,
Thanks, phone.
yeah.
Anyway, those are both trundling along, making pretty decent money
Mhm.
especially for what they are.
I think Godzilla has made more money in the U.S. than it has in Japan.
Uh, Very possible. Let's find out. Although I question this international box office because it literally has not updated since the first weekend that Godzilla came out,
Oh, yeah.
and they
So,
list nothing for Japan here. So I'm thinking that the numbers,
mm,
international records for Godzilla minus one, are just laughably incomplete.
yeah, yeah,
Because this is not a situation where they're having to dub it for the Japanese market. At least I hope not. Like,
yeah,
considering that they already dubbed it in Japanese, like what the heck is going on?
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Boy and the Heron and Godzilla minus one are doing all right for themselves.
Mhm.
Although, okay, so like I said, I like Godzilla minus one. I'm happy to see an anime movie doing well. Let's not overdo it here because
Yeah.
they're not saving the box office, unfortunately. They're
No, and anime is still very, it's not very, but it's still pretty niche, and it has not gotten mainstream appeal yet, and let's hope that it doesn't.
That's true. One would kind of hope that it does, but on the other hand, that can only water it down and
Yeah.
make bad ideas bleed back into Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like the pandemic did a lot for it, though, just because there was a lot of it on Netflix, and Netflix had some very long series on it at the time.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and also, and there's quite a few of them on Hulu as well.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Number two in the box office, so we had The Hunger Games, which week five, s- things got legs actually. It,
yeah, it does.
yeah, like
Yeah,
3 times legs, doing just about neck and neck nationally, internationally. It's definitely going to breach 300, so that's good on it.
yeah, yeah. Might even eke out a slight profit.
Yeah, could conceivably, depending on what they spent to market it. I would
Mm,
say I saw a decent number of commercials for it when I went to the theater this summer.
mm,
Those
mhm.
commercials did it no favors, in my opinion, because it just made it look lame,
Yeah,
which might actually be accurate to it. I've heard mixed things.
yeah,
Um, but, Lionsgate probably isn't going to be rushing out to make a sequel to it, just because
mm, yeah,
like again, there are I think there were opening weekends for some Hunger Games original movies that have outdone its net U.S. haul so far.
yeah. And given the amount of money they lost on the Expendables 4, yeesh.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that that movie existed.
A lot of people have forgotten it existed. A lot of people didn't even know it came out.
I think I think on Black Friday I was already seeing it in a Best Buy.
Oh, wow.
They also had Saw X there in November. Surprisingly,
Wow.
that's a fast turnaround.
That is, yeah.
Let's see, I don't know. Rounding out the top five, you've got Trolls Band Together,
Mhm,
which is continuing to curb stomp Wish.
mhm. Yeah, Wish is uh yeah, Wish is DOA at this point. And I have to go and read Alan Ning's article on Film Threat about all the goings on at Disney.
Oh, that's right. He did keep teasing those.
Yeah, he dropped the first one yesterday.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
So yeah, we endorse Film Threat. They're interesting people,
they are. Yes.
and honestly, we've been much happier since we've tried to be Diet Film Threat rather than being Diet Midnight's Edge.
Yes, yeah. We're not nearly as angry as we used to be.
Yeah, let's hear. The only other new release of note besides Wonka was Christmas with the Chosen, Holy Night, which actually I believe was also released last year around this time.
Yeah, I think those are episodes from the TV show.
Mm. Yeah, because the weird discrepancy is opening weekend gross 2.9 million, total gross 4.6 million. So that leads me to think that they're lumping in a previous gross.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
Then rounding out the top 10, Napoleon, Womp Womp.
yeah,
Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. Week three is grossed a total of $30 million. Sorry, Beyonce X. Taylor Swift is the bigger star.
yeah.
And then we've got Poor Things, which I might have seen a film threat review of.
Is that the one with Emma Stone? Yes,
Oh my
yes,
God. I think I, what?
yeah. Apparently, it is very graphic.
Hmm. Free from the prejudice of her times, Bella grows steadfast in her purpose to stand for equality and liberation. Gag.
Yeah, yeah.
That isn't even one of those things that's a bad thing to make a movie about, but just if that's what you have in your description, that tells me a lot about the movie.
Yeah, yeah. And and just like, what's with that poster? It's not very good.
It's designed to draw your attention and make you wonder what the heck is going on with that movie.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. Unfortunately, I think Ridley Scott's best days are behind him.
Oh, is that a Ridley Scott movie?
Napoleon is a Ridley
Oh,
Scott.
right, right. So say, wow, two bombs in one season. No, just the one.
Just one.
I mean, let's be fair. Ridley Scott at this point in his career, he's what, 80s, 70s?
80s. Yeah.
Yeah. Guy has FU money. He's going to make whatever movie he friggin' wants.
Yes.
What does he care? What does he care if it makes money or not? He's not going to be around to have to spend it.
Right. Yeah.
A movie that actually seems interesting to me to watch at some point when it gets a wider release is American Fiction,
Mm,
which basically it's about an author who is really irritated that it's based on a book, and the premise of the book was basically that in American fiction, black people seem to either be slaves or Barack Obama, and all they ever tell is the slaves story. And so it's about an author who, if from my understanding of it, decides to write an intentionally clickbaity story because
mm.
none of his writing about black success actually picks up, and so then he writes this really pandery thing, and it just blows up, and he has to deal with the fallout of that.
Oh, gee.
It's
Yeah.
like it sounds like it's a more highbrow version of the South Park episode Scrody McBooger Balls.
Yeah. Well, though I don't think there will be any references to Sarah Jessica Parker.
No, probably not. Actually, let's see. Do they? No, they don't have the cast listed. But yeah, this one came out in 7 theaters over the weekend or last weekend, so that's going to be one to wait for a wider release.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then the other one I thought was kind of interesting uh, that I saw down here was they apparently all month they've had a re-release of Love Actually.
Hmm.
Yeah, third weekend of it, and they managed to tack on like only 124 theaters. So they only tacked on another like 16,000 to the. No, I know. No, I'm looking at that's the dailies. And probably tacked on another 500,000 to 1 million to the movie's total. Yeah, another 500,000 onto its lifetime box office.
Hmm. Yeah.
Tis the season, I guess. We
Yes.
have been seeing Die Hard get re-released, among other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Although, unpopular opinion, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Look, a movie cannot just chronologically take place at Christmas to be a Christmas movie.
Right.
Christmas has to be prominent in the themes, messaging, and plot of the movie.
Yes. Yes. Indeed. Yeah.
You could have set Die Hard at Thanksgiving, Jul- July 4th,
Hmm.
or Arbor Day, and
Yeah.
nothing would technically change except for a couple of decorations in Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen the movie, though. The only thing I could say is that you would have to have a similar holiday where you'd have a skeleton crew, but most of those holidays I mentioned, except Arbor Day, would have a similar result.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That,
Yeah.
that, that is the firm opinion of this podcast, and
Yes.
we will not be dissuaded from it.
Exactly.
Uh, And just help our engagement. If you hate that opinion, go ahead and tell us why we're wrong.
Indeed. Yeah.
But yeah, I decided to add everything up. This is a very lopsided box office for last weekend because the top 10 as a total made a total of $68 million for all 10 movies, with Wonka being 39 of that.
Ooh. Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay, Ninja.
Eh, Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's the box office of the week. That was not too inspiring, though. I suspect Wonka is going to leg out. Just
I think so too.
lack of options.
Indeed. Yeah.